we've seen him spend some time at Zanaco. What is it that we can look at, that we can say, like, safely say, to say, like, okay, this is what Wetson Nyirenda at club level has achieved locally? Coach Muzo, okay, please
personally, I don't think there's anything where I can point a finger at and say that this is what he did for this club, or this is what he did. But for him to have been given that mentor to coach the national team, you should be serious with the national duties. And there's just one question I've always had in my mind is, do they have interviews for such kind of appointments, or do they have applications, or they just wake up and appoint? No, let Kenneth Siafunda be the coach for the under-17 what and what. Because for our friends, people apply for those jobs, and they give them on merit, not just who you know and who is going to stand up for you and say, no, give this job to this person. No, that criteria has to come to an end. Just like they do it with a senior team. When I say the senior team, I talk about the senior team. People apply for that job.
Yeah, of course, these feeder teams to the national team, Sean, they just look at them, maybe about 5 proposed them, then they scrutinize themselves.
Yes.
There is no application because they already have the coaches in the database. But my question is, what has Wetson Nyirenda did? Besides that, the same FA, to honor him for his failure, they have sent him to do a course in Morocco. So, Sean.
Okay, talking about that course to Morocco, was it so urgent that he could have left, the team whilst still playing games at the tournament, and to go and take up the technical training rather? And then my second question is that if the team qualifies to the next round of the tournament, was he still going to leave?
Okay, maybe I can just chip in to answer that. Sean, the program of coaches, what they do is they are just maybe there for maybe a month. Then they break. After some time again they go. But they already have the full timetable of the course. So even by the time Wetson was appointed to take the COSAFA team,
he already had the timetable of the trainings.
He was going to leave for Morocco.
But then why take up the job in the first place?
Even the people who appointed him, they could not. They were not supposed to appoint him because they knew that he was already committed with attending a course. And besides that, look at where Zambia was. The last game against Botswana, the head coach left for Morocco. So, to me, I think he was just playing the minds of Zambians. He just went there to go and make some money because he was already committed with something else. So, how do you leave the soldiers? You are the general. The soldiers are at war, they are fighting. Then you have academical aspect. Timetables are set.
Yes.
So, he knew that this period I was going to go there. Besides the same FA that sent him, they knew. Because even the air ticket, he had it when he went to South Africa.
I'm laughing because it's like a funny, state of affairs right there. Please continue, Kachmuzo.
No, he's right. How do you send somebody to the battlefront when you know that in the midst of the battlefront is going to abandon the soldiers?
Yes.
Because the morale of the soldiers will be dampened. You see.
So I'm still getting back to that same.
Because he went there for allowances.
Yes.
That's the bottom line. He went there for allowances. He just wanted to get something from there.
And Sean, there are some people who don't understand football. They are saying that after seeing the performance of Zambia being bad, he ran away. That's what people are saying.
Because that's how it's looking like. That's what I'm saying. No wonder I asked the question to say, like,
because it's not Zambia who knows that
Zambia, qualified to the next round, was he still going to leave?
Definitely was going to leave because that was on time. It's a timetable. It's a calendar.
Yes.
It's an academical coaching calendar. Yes.
Okay.
So by the time he was going to Morocco.
All right, interesting state of affairs. Now, going forward, those are not things that we're supposed to be seeing in our football circles because it does not give a good picture about Zambian football.
This is what I said from my preamble. As I said, when you look at the Zambian coaches, even the people who are sent to the national team duties, team doctors, team managers, the secretary at FA, Sean. Let's hope Keith is going to send some things. It's up to who you know. That is why if you look at other managers from the Copper Belt, those coming from Northwestern, from Southern Province, they are crying foul and saying, you just consider people who are just in Lusaka. Yes.
Okay. All right. As we close on this topic, Coach Muzo, your last word.
Like I had said in the first place that there were coaches who had done better during the just finished season. We have Mwenyachi Pepo.
Yes.
We have Oswald Mtapa. We have Emmanuel Suwale. We have Numba Mwira. Numba Mumamba.
Numba Mumamba, yes.
Yes, so those are the people you're supposed to consider for that job. Even when we'll be going for the AFCON, take 2 or 3 of them, give them the duties of running the Chani team. Like with Wedson Nyirenda. No matter where he goes for the refresher courses.
But speaking of those refresher courses...
No, let me finish. Yeah, Wedson Nyirenda won't change. He has been at ZESCO before. Even when he was at ZESCO, was in the same programs. Wedson Nyirenda will never change.
Okay, now, speaking of those refresher courses, we have a crop of, the likes that you've mentioned, Coach Muzo, of a crop of coaches that are coming up right now.
Yes.
Do you think it's fair to give somebody that has been around in the game for a very long time? I'm talking about those courses. So now, those refresher courses, should we be giving them to people that have been in a long time, or we have this crop of players that needs to be nurtured? I mean, rather, crop of coaches that needs to be nurtured to take up senior,
Okay.
Yes,
Let me take up that, Sean, just to conclude the program, just to conclude the same segment that we are discussing. The courses on there.
That's my point. That's the point I'm trying to drive at.
He was with national team, he was in South Africa, he was also in Mozambique. So, it's like, Sean, you are sending me to do a course for work when I'm about to retire. Why can't you send me for a course for agriculture so that I go and learn how to farm?
That's what I'm trying to drive at. Coach Muzo, please.
They are very good at sending their coaches for refresher courses.
Yes.
And we have to give them credit for that. When Mwenyachi Pepo was there, they did that to him. Even Peri Mtapa, they did that to him. I don't know about this Masao Somali, but I'm sure they're about to do that even for the coach or the coach himself to take up that refresher course. You don't have to wait for the FA to do that for you.
All right. Okay. All right. It is Sports with the Boys right here on Sun FM TV. We do this every Saturday, and got so many interesting. So we've just been talking about Zambia being booted out of the COSAFA. We've seen still on the coaching issues. We've seen here in ZESCO United bringing back Coach Hona Janza as technical director. We've handled this item before here, and I think the week before last we talked about it, and there was a term, Kennedy, that you used going around.
I don't know what ZESCO they want to get out of Janza. I don't have a challenge with Janza coming, but what expertise is going to bring that he failed to show.
And it's just less than a year ago that we did see, Hona Janza leaving ZESCO United. Then it's being brought out in the same capacity that he left.
This is what I'm saying. I don't know what ZESCO they expect Janza to come and do. Maybe just because he went for a holiday in the UK, so they thought maybe he was going to come up with new ideas. But to me, I feel it's still a non-starter. This is what I'm saying. Sean, changing environment also brings about new ideas. So I think it's high time ZESCO should have thought of coming up with somebody else.
Yes.
Because this is what I'm saying. It has a mixed feelings and the reactions when he went to the UK and again he came. So the supporters now, they are questioning the executive, but why are you bringing the person who left us when we needed him most? Okay. Executive, they can answer that question, but this is what I'm saying. What expertise is he going to bring that he failed to show when he was at ZESCO?
Okay. Yeah. All right, Coach Muzo.
Let's consider the position at which Hona Janza left ZESCO. Was it in a far much better position, or is ZESCO at a far much better position than when Janza and the group were there? I think Manuel Swad and the group, they have done a recommendable job.
Yes.
They coming out second. I don't think they could have come out second with that Janza Red group. But why bring him?
Put him now that Coach, Hona Janza coming back. Where is it? Where is this?
Yes, being I was coming to that. I just wanted to. Yes. Maybe they should have brought George Rwandamin as technical director, and Emmanuel Swade continues as coach. Maybe it bring in him being a technical director. It could have been a new dimension, like being a head coach. Yeah, just like you've put it. Where's Emmanuel Swade going to be with Hona Janza being the technical director? Definitely somebody is coming in as the head coach at ZESCO. Let's wait and see.
Okay, interesting stuff. But then now, Coach Muzo, you're bringing in, you're naming, Chicken Wandamina. Chicken, it's the same situation that we've just been, like the previous situation that we've been tackling, where, coaches being recycled in same clubs. Are you telling me to say, like, there isn't any other, coach that is capable of taking, Zesco United to go and play, continental football?
Sean, the same story we are talking about after continental games we are going to still talk about. Even bringing Wandamina as a TD, to me it was going to be still the same thing.
Yes.
Sean, we need new people with new ideas. I don't have a challenge with Sware, but people are saying no, you cannot be as a head coach because when Zesco will be playing continental, Hona Janza is going to be acting as a head coach then as Sware second, but when the league will be playing, Janza is still going to do. This is what I'm saying, Zesco, Sean, and the Coach Muzo. What is affecting football in Zambia? It's no longer now what you know, it's who you know. Because they just, same company, about 6 months down the line. So how do you want me to be back? What do you expect me to come and bring on the table? It will still be the same thing. So people are just now coming back to organizations just for financial gain.
So are you saying that Ona Janza has got a lot of people within Zesco who like his working culture?
I don't know. So, but Vamuzo, this is what I'm saying. The option, this, yes. Vamuzo, you have got traitors or people who resigned. Why do you want again to call people who resigned? Why can't you advertise the position like for the TV?
Ona Janza has been going on. Listen.
Let me weigh in this one. Where do we leave the aspect of advertising the position?
This is what
let people apply, have interviews, then pick the people that are...
People are handpicked because of who you know.
Continental matches. It is the owners of Zesco to take him for a refresher course.
Exactly.
Just like Power Dynamos did last time, they took Mwenyachi people for a refresher course because of the same problem. Why can't they take it upon themselves to refresh their coach? No, and you go and take in someone, and just like Kennedy has put it, that's what is going to be happening. When they go for continental matches, so they will be acting as an assistant, and him will be the head coach.
Okay.
To cover up, because he's got advanced papers.
So now, how does that? Okay, realistically speaking, how is that going to sit with so knowing that he has done all the work, getting the team to play that stage, then you bring in somebody, so like, okay, you're going to be reporting to this person now.
Yeah. Definitely, he's going to feel that it is not important to the club because he's done the donkey job. And he's taken the team to the second place. Maybe had there been 8-10 more games, maybe Zesco could have won the league.
Okay.
But now, after doing all the donkey job, they bring in someone you'll be reporting to. It's very unfortunate. Okay,
interesting stuff. Kennedy, maybe before we close on this item also, how much time does Zesco have in order to prepare for this before they start to play the continental football? Do they have enough time, or maybe they're racing against time? And they're looking at the situation that's happening right now, bringing in other people like Ona Janza. Is it a sign of desperation?
To me, I feel Zesco, they are desperate, but it's their own making. As we are talking, Sean, there is a mobility exodus of players. It's of course confirmed Dennis Nya.
Yeah, we'll get that. That's on our next item. So yes.
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. Immediately, Zesco, Hona Janza left, technical director. The combination was bad because there was Chicken as a head coach who is very, very senior technical director, which it didn't work. So I thought Zesco, they went out of it, but they are not there to learn. So they just picked up a phone and he said that I think Wajanza, my car sana 6 months it's just about work now and salary, not about improvement.
Speaking of work, what do you think Janza is going to add to the technical bench as they go into continental football?
Is
this reinforcement credible, or is just on paper?
To me, it's not credible because this is the guy who was there already in Zesco. Zesco immediately were booted out in the first round by a team in Zimbabwe. So I don't know what these guys saw. You know, the challenge with Zesco, you know, at the moment, Zesco, they're just going around the circles. Next time, Sean, don't be surprised when you see Tenant Chirumba back to Zesco, Joe Chicken Wandamna back to Zesco.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying now. They have stopped fetching for better coaches who can enhance their performance. They are now looking at their history. They just go into their archives, HR, look at the coaches that we had employed in the last 5 years.
Wow, interesting stuff right there in the coaching circles. When it comes to Zambian football, yes, the item on the agenda, one of the items that we have right now is technical director Hona Janza coming back to Zesco United. 021261 for sports with the boys. We do this every Saturday, and I'm your presenter for today, Sean Imas Moliti, and in the studio I'm with Coach Muzo, also Kennedy Siafunda, I'm an analyst. Now moving on to the next item, Kennedy and Coach Muzo, the signings, the movements have started happening. Any notables that we can look at right now, and then we see
you've put it just like you've put it.
Yes,
the Zambia Super League champions, Power Dynamos, they have added two names to their team. So just like you've said it, how creditable are they?
Yes.
What value are they going to add to the team? Those are the things we should be looking at.
Yes.
Are they going to dampen the morale of the players who are there, or are they going to
boost the morale?
So which players have they brought on board?
There is Akim Mumba and this other guy from Red Arrows.
Akim Mumba comes from
Diara.
Yeah.
Akim Mumba, I think previous season he was with the Red Arrows on Napsa.
I think Akim Mumba must be coming from Napsa.
Okay. Yes. Then he also Diara.
Okay, interesting.
But you know the challenge that I have shown. Even at Power Dynamos, they have got better players than those they are thinking of coming up.
This is what I'm talking about.
Here's my question right now.
Are they going to improve the morale of the team, or are they going to dampen the morale of the team?
Do you know the challenge, Amuzo, that I have with your team, Power Dynamos, even if you just say to me, Power Dynamos, to me, Babu Sakafi, when they are putting on that yellow jersey, they look nice. But when you look at Power Dynamos, they signed a lot of players that are just the same level, Sean.
Yes.
There is Salurani was there. They brought a lot of players, Prince Mumba. To me, at least, Prince Mumba changed the game when Oswald Ntapa went there. So, so when you look at those players at Power Dynamos, they don't have a cream de la cream of players. They just have average players. Austin Moore is there. They would bring this other player, start benching this other player. The other player who they are benching now is better than the player that they have brought. That is the challenge that I have with Power Dynamos. They just go same up.
Okay, Kennedy, let's Coach Muzo, because you just jumped in and attacked him. So Coach Muzo, can you please finish your point?
No, I'm not defending my team.
Yes.
How did the team with a bunch of average players come up to win the league? Tell me. Can you come? No. Why is it that Zesco with that high class and the expensive players, they failed to win the league, and the average players?
Did I say Zesco have high players?
No.
I haven't said that.
Okay, 0212617140. I would like to take some phone calls right now, if I thought there's any, so that we can,
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Wakaram.
Hey, Achani.
Quickly. Sure. Twala have direct first key. Hona Janza. Zambia. Katushinda takwacha wakoshana. Mlandu kuyoko wakumine okoleweruka wafumoku abweruka nomba biranishi washwati oko wakumine futo ko ngabweruka nishwashati hapana tapali chanji mlandu bakala mboko wale chitande takwati washupika wafumako futa geni wabwera futo kwata mpoko shupika nishipintu lebomba nishitapali dota wamapo wafako imbinto ya kubomba pale kwabo kufaida po bana mama so nomba taile panga na sense yao.
Okay.
Olo kuisa kuli iya liko ya Kosafa. Zona magaiza abarefu amangu amaluzi. Ababe nobo tukwete fuke bakana kwa Africa Cup. Nomba neta kwa
okay. Thank you very much.
Zano kumempuranga pakawati nangu baku Africa Cup tukeshwa nati kwa team
mwisho thank you very much
kwa mano kuma team
okay.
Zambia
Thank you very much for your contribution. So like quickly, like you had put it, let's be brief in our contribution so that we can leave room for others also to weigh in. Okay. 0212617140. If we have another one, we might as well just take it like right now as we handle this issue. Yes, Vamuzo, you were cut short before Kennedy jumped on your. Oh, I wanted to say throat, but no, he did not.
The issue at hand is this. What I was trying to say is he was calling them average players.
Yes.
Quite all right, the average players, but they were able to bag in the league and put it in their.
Okay. So now, in your position, you have these players that back the league. So now, these reinforcements, are they credible or just like?
You remember? No. You've just forgotten what I said. Is the acquisition? Is it going to boost up their morale in the team, or is it going to dampen the morale in the team?
Maybe
those are the things we should be. Those are the things we should be considering when buying players. Even when you go to the EPL, they are not just buying.
So now, in your opinion, Vamuzo, how do you feel as Vamuzo, in your you as a
Power Dynamo supporter? Yes. Now,
how do you feel about these two signings?
Don't talk as a supporter. Talk as a person who is in the middle. Objective. Be objective.
Because I was objective. You came out and said no. Your team.
Okay, Vamuzo, answer my question. How do you feel?
They have to wait and see if they're going to add value to the team.
Okay. You're being tricky.
This is what I'm saying. Can I beg to chip in?
Okay.
Because it's like Vamuzo, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't answer as a Power Dynamo supporter.
I was talking as an analyst. Then you came out strongly that your team. In as much as you speak for Kwazi, your team with Kwazi, I know it.
Okay. All right. Kennedy. Please. I think you speaking as an analyst.
Vamuzo is applying to be arrested. This is what I'm saying. But okay, let's look at Power Dynamos.
Yes.
Look at Prince Mumba and the Alassane Diarra Vamuzo. At Power Dynamo, Diarra, the only thing that he did was to play the champion with Red Arrows. Absa, they were booted out. Power Dynamos, this is what I'm saying. Power Dynamos, Vamuzo, even when they are playing, you don't even know the person who will score. They won the league. Absa, booted out very easily. So,
don't say they were booted out very easy when they were playing in the semi-final. You don't say that very easily. There were teams which were eliminated in the initial stages.
Sean, the challenge that I have with Zambian teams.
Yes.
You go even look at your players, how pathetic they were at Kosafa, Ian Tembo, Ngolo Kante.
So now here we are about to we are here to talk about Power Dynamos.
Okay, it's getting much heated here.
We are talking about Power Dynamos.
Okay, maybe we can proceed from this one. We've dwelled too much on Power Dynamos. I don't want people to start thinking like
because they are representing.
Because they are representing, so definitely don't have to be easy on them. Now let's move on. You talked about Dennis Nya making a movement, Kennedy. Let's look at these other signings that these other teams are making. But in the meantime, before we close the show, I still want to know Vamuzo's stance, because you've been technical in your response over the signings that Power Dynamo.
He's answering as if he's a lawyer. This is football.
Okay, let's talk about the next movements that we've seen.
Okay, the notable movement, it's on record, though it's not yet confirmed, that Dennis Nya has refused to sign a contract with Esco.
Okay.
Also, Forest Rangers, Chris Mugalu.
Yes.
This is a player they just acquired 6 months ago. He has gone with Ian Bakara in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Chitoshi Chinga also has gone to Zimbabwe. So, I also Kabaso Chongo, they are saying he's coming to Tunkana. Down, he was linked to Tunkana
also.
So, I think as the week goes, I think everything was overshadowed due to the bereavement that we have as a country. But as it opens up, I think we are going to know a lot of signing. But what I'm saying, Sean, look at how Dennis was formed up at this. Let's hope the player that they are going to bring will be better than Dennis. This is a challenge that I have.
All right. Now, these players that have left, Forest Rangers, we know for obvious reasons the fact that, it's because Forest Rangers has been relegated. Is it a good attitude for players to be abandoning a team because they've gone, in a lower, division? At the end of the day, we see them taking on. Coach Mozo.
Kenneth and Sean, I don't like players who like moving with the coach. When you go with the coach, when he gets sacked, what happens?
What happens to you?
Yes, those are the things you're supposed to be considering. Move on your own as a player. You know, I'll give an example of Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen, Xabi Alonso has gone to Madrid.
Yes.
He hasn't taken any player from Bayer Leverkusen.
No, but that Sean, I think I can defend Ian. You know, Sean, when you are given a contact the players that you know, you get my point. And the players that you work to,
are you telling me the whole Zambian league he only knows 2 players he has gotten from
he could have
Forest?
not gotten everybody. So he was comfortable with Chito Chinga and Mugaru because those guys he worked with them. So he knows. And
that what if in the first 6 months
coach is not on their favor, they'll have somewhere else to go.
Okay.
So I'm defending the decision. I'm working for somewhere. I recommend you to come for work. In an event where I leave, I'm fired. You should also continue with work as long as you are competent with what you are doing.
Do you know that it's and it doesn't like your performance, then you'll be sidelined. The only thing you'll be enjoying it will be your salary and the allowances.
But maybe
we should look at it this way. Okay, maybe let's place it this way. Like you put it, Coach Muzo, to say like you do not like players who do that. Let's look at the issue of loyalty.
That's an important question.
Okay, I'll answer that question, Sean. You know, players to the club, Sean, I can't cheat you. To be point blank, they just follow salaries. The players, they owe the road to the coach because they know the coach wherever he will go. You know, we have seen coaches where a coach lives, they pay royalty to the coach, not to the team. They are just doing.
But okay, now
that is why now they can leave a team at any time and follow the coach. Chito Chinga is now he's in Harare as we are talking.
Yeah.
Okay. So Chito Chinga is in Harare with the Bakara. Yes. What if in the next 6 months Bakara finds himself in Tanzania?
Chito should still remain. No, Chito should remain because he still has a contract there.
Like your working culture.
That is just a link. It's a contact. Ian said,
there are very few.
You know, Ian they asked him in Zimbabwe, we want you to reinforce the team. He said, I don't have a problem.
Okay.
But which players do you have? He said, I've got a defender and a striker in Zambia. Then he contacted them and they agreed. I don't have a challenge with that. But also, look at like...
Yes, so now, speaking of professionalism, is it a good thing where, like, I know you've justified Kennedy, you know, players or their loyalty to the coaches. But when you speak it like, okay, on a professional aspect of things, is a player supposed to have loyalty to the coach or to the
team?
You know, because I'm looking at this for the club. In as much as your relationship with the coach is good, as far as I'm concerned, you're supposed to honor that. Now, looking at Forest Rangers, it's been relegated. Whose fault is it? Was it because of management? Was it because of the coaches? Some of these issues we've tackled. But the players had a big role to play in the relegation. So now you decided to leave the team. So which means, I'm looking at it in this way, knowing that
Kennedy is promoting the players to be saying, yes, if the team is relegated, I'll move to the other team. This is what you are encouraging.
Okay, can you allow me to say that? Sean,
wait. No, let me finish. Let me finish.
I need to defend myself.
Yes, I know you defend me.
Let me finish. I've got 2 examples.
Yes.
Leicester was relegated last time. The big guns stayed. Vardy, Patson Daka, and the yes.
Okay, I'm listening.
In their team, those are the big guns.
Okay, you know, we're running out of time. We're running out of time.
Listen,
can you please wind up so that he can defend himself?
They went with the team and they came back with the team.
Okay.
Newcastle was relegated at some time. They went with the same players who were there. They stuck with the team.
Yes.
They went to the lower division and they came back with the team. Juventus was relegated. Andre Pirlo, he refused to move out of Juventus because he had the heart for the team.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Coach Muzo. In a minute, Kennedy, can you defend yourself? You say like he attacked you.
Muzo and Sean, every player would want to play as a team in the Premier League that still needs with a better pick.
Okay. All right. I'm thinking we'll still be having the same. We'll still be having the same items probably maybe next week, because looking at this, we are not usually like seriously really exhausting it because due to time. So we might as well jump onto the next item, probably maybe the last one. Weigh in for a minute or two. Yeah. So now. Keith Mwemba administration lifting bans for those people that were, bad by the previous administration. Pivot Simwanza is one of them. Richard Kazala is one of them. Black Osiwale, Damiano Mtale, and just to mention by a few. Guys, how is this a good move for?
This is what is happening. The same guys, the other administrators, they challenge the other administrator. What chances do you have that they are not going to start pointing guns at you? What chances do you have that those guys they won't start pointing guns at you? This is the same things we're talking about earlier on.
Kennedy.
You know, me what I expected, you know, I'm disappointed that they just came up and said, pronounce that we have. It's like, Sean, you take up the issue of, for instance, a president. Let's not mention Zambia, another country. The moment you come into power, you say, oh, the prison, I'm releasing them. Don't you think there are a lot of crime in your country? So the challenge that I wanted with...
Okay, maybe we should look at it this way. Is it maybe Keith Mwemba, and then we did see these, wrangles, football wrangles that we had come as a result of certain people, certain individuals being banned from practicing football. Okay. And they felt like they were treated unfairly. Maybe we should look at it. I just wanted to finish. Yes.
Me, what I wanted, they would have reviewed the case. Because some of the cases are so severe that people would have banned for life. So it was not everybody that you just come and pronounce it. Because me, I'm Kennedy, I'm a president of Karomo, if Karomo is a town. And it release all the criminals, those guys who committed rape case, the murderers, the aggravated...
But okay, what makes you say like these cases, why are you using that word?
The best thing, they would have reviewed the cases.
Started reviewing them one by one?
Which cases are severe. Because who have a person who committed an aggravated robbery to be pardoned? Again, when he comes, robberies will increase in town. This is what we are
so in actual sense, this is not a good move.
It's a very, very bad move. And it's a very bad precedent because he was supposed... What I'm saying, you guys, don't misquote me. Forgiving, it's okay. But who are you forgiving, Sean?
Okay.
Are you forgiving a person who picked a gun and traveled to Lusaka to go and shoot somebody, or somebody who committed manslaughter? So which one are you giving?
Okay, perhaps maybe in
because
this situation...
some of the people
let me ask you this question, you guys, as we wind up on this one. We did see these cases go to court. Most of these cases go to court. And some of them were, even at the time that the elections were being carried out, they are not yet, concluded upon. And so many people felt that they were treated unfairly. Perhaps, don't you think this is a clean slate that,
So what I wanted them to go through the files and see which offenses were severe. Then from there they will pronounce this, but this, let's review it. Okay. That's all.
All right. It seems like time is not with us. They definitely will be back. We might as well maybe continue from here next week. Football with the boys. And I've been your presenter, Sean Imas Muliti, and my analyst, Coach Muzo, as well as Kennedy Siafunda. Please make a date next week as we come and conclude on these same items. See ya.
Sun Sports TV is now available countrywide. Oh, yeah! Available countrywide. Channel 90. Jump on the basic or classic bouquet on Top Star. Sun Sports TV, the home of all sports. Channel 94 on Top Star decoders. Available countrywide.
This is Sun FM. It's 11 o'clock. Sun FM.
International news and information. This is BBC World.
It's the actual doing. It's the hard grafting. The reason I set up the team is because it needs to be done.
Winning's the only thing that matters. Taking part is a complete waste of time and a nonsense. You have to win by any means necessary. But you only win when you work your socks off every single day consistently. And when you work hard, you will get results.
I'm Katie Smith, and this week's Not By the Playbook, it's all about drive.
across Israel as Iran continues to fire retaliatory airstrikes. Loud blasts were heard earlier in cities including Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. From Jerusalem, here's Hugo Bashega.
Was a long night of attacks across the country. Sirens sounded, alerting people of the threat from Iranian missiles. Those missiles that had been fired by Iran. One of those missiles hit a residential area in a city south of Tel Aviv, and there has been some reaction from the Israeli Defense Minister, Israel Katz, to that particular attack. He said the Iranian leadership had crossed a red line by firing at civilians, and he said
to attack targets inside Iran. Overnight, there were reports of fresh explosions at Mehrabad airport in Tehran. Throughout Friday, Israel bombarded Iranian military and nuclear sites, prompting criticism from the UN watchdog, the International Atomic Energy Agency. Here's BBC Persian's Hashayar Janedi.
Mehrabad Airport is important because it's the base for Tehran, the capital, and the area around it. During the Friday, we saw similar patterns of Israeli attacks on major military air bases in Tabriz, in Shiraz, in other parts of Iran, and it seems that after the first wave of their attacks, the second wave is that they're hitting Iran's air bases in order to paralyze the Air Force.
The US radio station Voice of America has asked more than 50 former employees to help its Middle East coverage, months after President Trump gutted the federally funded service. Most of the recalled workers are from the radio's Persian network. Palestinian media say several people have been killed and dozens injured by Israeli forces while queuing for food near a distribution site in central Gaza. Information from Gaza has been scarce since a full internet blackout began on Thursday. Sebastian Usher reports from Jerusalem.
Many of those waiting to be able to pick up much-needed supplies of food in Gaza may not know that the aid distribution sites run by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation are closed until Sunday. The organisation posts updates on its Facebook page, which only those with eSIM cards on